Hi, it's Craig, WJ6F. Today's video, we're going to be talking about a pretty compact radio, the TD-H3 from TIDRADIO. We'll get to it right after this. Okay, the items that come with the radio. You get a charging cradle. You have a USB-A to USB-C cable. Now this cable not only goes to the charging cradle, you can also charge directly to the battery, which I'll show you where that goes in a few. And this is also your programming cable. You have a wrist strap, a little owner's type warranty card thing. The owner's manual, belt clip with 2 screws, antenna, 2500 milliamp hour battery, and the radio itself. I didn't really have any problems with the owner's manual. They put good effort into it. Seems pretty comprehensive. Like, for example, they give you a good description on what all the icons on the screen are. They give you a whole instruction thing for the Oddmaster programming software for your phone. They tell you what all the menu items are. Then they also show you screenshots for each menu item and what their functions are. They give you a technical page of all the specifications. Then they give you the usual DCS and CTCSS charts. Here's your DCS and CTCSS charts. All in all, good manual. Did not need a UN interpreter to figure it out. Again, this PDF is going to show you some of the features that the radio has. You have 8-band receive, dual push to talk, which I showed a little earlier. Now the thing, it has 3 modes, this ham, GMRS, and normal. Normal, I guess, opens up the entire radio to everything. You can do wireless frequency copy if you have 2 of these radios, like you program the black one and then you buy this crystal clear plastic one. You can transfer all your data into that radio without having to reprogram each channel one by one. It has NOAA, DTMF. The firmware updates are very easy and very fast to do. They're saying the power is 5 watts, and we're going to give that a little test here shortly. They're saying the battery will last about 48 hours. And the screen is 1.44 inches. The dimensions, it's 102 by 51 by 30 millimeters, and the weight is 228 grams. Has the 8-band receiving, 2-band transmit. And then these are your programming modes. You can do Bluetooth from your phone. You can use the TypeC port programming for chirp, or you can use the Kenwood port if you have one of those kinds of cables. Or you can just program right from the front of the radio. And this shows you how you can do 1-key frequency match. And if you have 2 of the same radio, this is how you can program one with everything you have on another. And this has this new stun, kill, and revive. This is in case you've misplaced or someone has just flat out stolen your radio. You can kill it. And then these are some of the updates they have for the latest update that came out on April 1st. At the time of filming this video, the radio on Amazon is going for $33.99, and they do have an 8% coupon on here. You can also order it straight from the TIDRADIO website, and it's about $1 less. They give you a little video, and again, the description of everything that goes on. Here's the frequencies if you want to listen to the airband, and the 3 ways again of programming. This is where they talk about how it allows you to use the TypeC cable so you don't have to run around trying to get a Kenwood style plug to work on your radio and computer. You can just plug it directly in since they have the chip already built into the radio. Now this says that the battery on standby will last 120 hours. Not sure how accurate that is. I have not tested it. Okay, well, first things first. All right, starting with the left side here, You have your channel A push to talk and B push talk. This bottom button here controls the flashlight. Push again, you get strobe, and turn it off. Then if you press and hold, it opens up the squelch for you. On the top, obviously your antenna, your power and volume knob, and then your flashlight. And these are your indicators for channel A and B, whether you're receiving or transmitting. On the right side, you can use a Kenwood type plug for any kind of microphones. And then right here, this USB-C charging, this is where you'll use to program the radio. On the front, obviously you have the screen. This blue button gets you into the menu, and it also turns on the Bluetooth. This orange one allows you to exit the menu. And then if you want to switch from band A to band B, you use this bottom right with the hashtag thing. You can see the little arrow going up and down. On the bottom of the radio, right here, is where you have a slot for the USB-C for charging the battery without the cradle. Right next to it, you have an indicator light. Green charging, red fully charged. Unfortunately, the belt clip connects to the battery, but given the size of this radio, there's not really any other options. And then you have this little mount here for the wrist strap. If you've ever used the TD-H3, you'll recognize the screen. All the functions and all the icons are pretty much the same. Your speaker is down here below. Now we're going to take a look at the menu. Now I did the latest update on this radio, which came out April 1st of this year, 2024. What that did is it expanded the menu for starters. As you can see, we're inside the menu. Now you have 56 menu options. Before, I believe it was only 48. And a lot of these you'll recognize. They're the same, whether you've used a Baofeng or some of the other radios. I'm going to change some of these to what I prefer. Your backlight, you can change that for a few different time settings. Beep, no, we don't want that. Fox off. Timeout timer, I usually keep mine at 2 minutes. This is for receiving DCS, receiving CTCSS, your transmit DCS and transmit CTCSS. Voice, no, we don't need the radio telling us anything. This is if you want to add it into the scanning. How you want your channels to display, if you want them to show frequency or the name or the channel. This is your direction for the repeater, your repeater offset, either 5.0 or 0.6. If you put in a frequency where you want to save it, and if you want to delete it. This is so you can, if you're listening to a repeater, you can use this and it'll tell you the CTCSS that it's using. If you need to reset the radio. And there is a menu button in here for listening to the air bands. That's pretty much it for the menu. Like I said, a lot of it is the same from other radios, from TIDRADIO you've seen, or even Baofeng. Okay, first thing we're going to do is program a simplex frequency into here. We're going to use 146.520, the 2-meter national calling frequency. First thing you're going to want to do, obviously, is input that frequency. And there you go. Now, since this is a simplex, we can obviously skip CTCSS, direction, and offset, and we'll just go straight to the memory. Push the blue button, that puts you in memory, and then the memory item you want is number 25. And that gets you to your memory channel. Press the blue, then go up to the one you want. In this case, we want number 2. Lock it in, and then you can exit back out. Now to switch back into memory, push the orange button. And you see we have channel 2 there, 146.520. I have not found a way to do it, but it does not look like you can input a name tag in here from the front end. You'll have to use either the Bluetooth, Chirp, or their own programming software. Then we're going to put in a local repeater. First thing you want to do, make sure you're in VFO. We are. You'll see VFO right underneath the number 1 and 4. Put in the frequency you want, in this case 145.220. Then you're going to push the blue button to get into the menu, and you're going to go to menu item 13. That's for the CTCSS. Press the blue button again, and then using the up or down key, go to the desired CTCSS frequency you need. We want 103.4, and you can hold it to get there quicker. There we go, 103.5. Next thing you're going to go to is number 24. This gives you the offset. And since this is 2 meter, we want 0.6. Push the button again to lock it back in. Drop down 1 to 23. And we're going to do the direction. In this case, we want the negative or minus. Lock that back in, and then go to 25 for your memory. Hit the blue button. Pick the one you want. I want 15. And you can press and hold it to get there quicker. Once you got the one you want, hit the blue button again to lock it in, and then exit out. Press the orange button to get into memory. And you can see now we have 2. We have 15 and 2. I'm going to do a quick power test on this. Starting with 70 centimeter, you can see we're on the national calling frequency, and right above the 6 is the letter L for low power. On the meter here, this large number is going to be the SWR, and the power is going to be right up here. So let's give this a whirl. And we're at 1.82. Now switch to high power. Go into menu. You want to be on menu item number 2. Hit the blue button. Go to high. Lock it in. And exit out. And we're 5.47. Okay, let's jump up to 2 meters. And we're at 146.520. And you can see again right above the number 6, we're on L for low power. And we're at 1.32 watts. Switch to high power. And we're at 4.72 watts. Okay, the difference between 4.72 and 5.0 is negligible. I'm very pleased with how this has turned out with the power. Now we're going to try the harmonics and see how that fares. Okay, I've got the Tiny SA Ultra all set up, and I've got the radio connected. As you can see, we're set at 146.520 and low power. That's going to take a minute for this to settle down. Okay, as you can see, well, 5 disappeared. 4 is negative 56.4, which is great, and it's below the 25 microwatt required by the FCC, or the negative 16.02 dB. However, numbers 2 and 3, not the same. While they're both below the 40 dB requirement, 2 sitting at negative 45.2 and 3 sitting at negative 47.3, neither one of them is below the required 25 microwatt line, or 16.02 dB. What does that mean? Well, my understanding is that means that this radio is not legal to be used due to the spurious emissions it's putting out. My opinion about this radio is I like it. I like the form factor. I like the size. I think it works very well. I like the fact that for a change I got a Chinese radio that actually puts out the power it says it's going to. However, the one drawback is those spurious emissions. As we saw, it's not below the 25 microwatts that the FCC requires. Once TIDRADIO gets that under control, this radio will be spot on. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and don't forget to click on the bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. If you'd like to help support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description area. And while you're here, why don't you check out one of these other videos? And thanks again for watching.